Magyanatimindasya Gyanachalakaya Chakshomritamyena Tasmai Se Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhuvaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So welcome everybody, and today we have Krishna Keshava Prabhu, who's based in America, USA, Princeton. Is that right?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
he actually is assisting Sripad Madhava Puri Maharaj at the Bhaktivedanta Institute of Spiritual Culture and Science. You're also studying philosophy at Stockton University, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. And today you're giving a talk on Pseudograins and Ekadashi. I'll hand you over now.
Thank you, Kanu Priya Didi, and thank you to all the devotees giving me some opportunity to try to offer some service. I just have to share the screen. I have a PowerPoint. Okay. There we go. So first, I'd like to just offer my obeisance to our Guru Varga, Om Gyanan Timidan Hasya Gyanan Jana Salakaya Chakshor Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I'd like to offer my obeisance to all of the assembled devotees, Vanchakalpa Trubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. And also, hopefully this offering will just be able to help in any capacity to any of the Vaishnavas across the world, or anyone who is looking to practice bhakti yoga to some capacity. I'll be talking about Pseudograins and Ekadashi. This photo here is of Mahaprabhu begging rice from one of the devotees in Jagannath Puri, but he won't share it because he thinks, he's very fallen, and how could Mahaprabhu take his remnants? But Mahaprabhu is super merciful and is looking to also receive the mercy from the Vaishnavas, even though he's Krishna himself. So I thought it was a nice photo to have here. I wanted to start by also just honoring Sripad Ramanuja Acharya. Today is his appearance day. His sampradaya is coming from Sri Lakshmi Devi. It's called the Sri Sampradaya. He presented the Vishvadvaita philosophy called qualified non-dualism. And he was the first of the Vaishnava Acharyas to oppose Sripad Shankaracharya, who presented the Kevala Dvaita or Mayavad philosophy, which was undifferentiated non-dualism. And I have one quote here from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur about Sripad Ramanujacharya's philosophy. The conception of Shakti, or the predominated absolute, and the transformations and products of the same is developed by Sri Ramanuja for the negative purpose of refuting the claims of the impersonalist school of Kevala Dvaita to Vedic, or more properly Upanishadic, sanction to their catchword of undifferentiated monism of Sri Ramanuja. The system of Sri Ramanuja is called Vishtadvaita. He shows that the unity of the absolute is not tampered or affected by the initiative existence of his attributive connotation and its subservient activities thereof. The teaching of Sri Krishna Chaitanya, which is identical with that of Srimad Bhagavat, supplements and develops the conception of Shakti of Sri Ramanuja in most important respects. And you can find this on the Mutt's website at what is it? The website with all the ebooks, which is gaudiyadarshan.net, I believe, and there you could find the Bhagavat book by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and this is an excerpt from there. So I just wanted to pay my obeisance to him today, to Sripad Ramanujacharya. But now to the main topic of the talk is pseudograins and Ekadashi. So we all know that you can't have grains or beans on Ekadashi, but sometimes we might be looking for another type of preparation that's equally as filling as grains. if, I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but it's useful, I think, to know about pseudograins because they're not grains, and they are very filling. And even when it's not Ekadashi, pseudograins actually are better for people who might have high blood sugar because they don't increase blood sugar as much. So basically, grains are the seeds and the fruits of grasses called monocots, and pseudograins are the seeds of non-grasses, which can be used in place of grains in their entirety. So, like for example, quinoa is one pseudograin. So instead of making oatmeal, let's say in the morning, you can make quinoa on Ekadashi or any other day, and it's lower on the glycemic index, so it doesn't increase your blood sugar so much. And it's also very nice as a flour. If you want to make some baked good on Ekadashi, you can use quinoa flour. So it's very nice. Just to show some of the pictures of what grains are, so like we said, they're a grass. They're the seeds or fruit of a grass. So corn on the cob would be an example of a fruit of a grass. We have that on the left side. And then the middle picture is of rice. They're the seeds of a grass. And then here I have a picture of chia, because chia seeds have become quite popular to use, and they're actually a grain. They're the seed of a grass, as we can see from the chia pets. If you ever encountered a chia pet, the grass is growing, but it's from chia seeds, what we're eating. So it's not Ekadashi friendly, actually. And then we have pseudograins. On the left here is quinoa growing. So it's a flowering broadleaf plant that's not a grass. And also then on the right side, we have buckwheat. And again, it's a small flowering plant. So we have a more comprehensive list here. Pseudograins include buckwheat, tapioca, quinoa, psyllium husk, which is also very nice for people with diabetes and other health problems. Amaranth is also a pseudograin. And then grains, of course, are wheat, barley, millet, oats, rice, corn, chia, farro, and bulgur. And so I have here a snapshot of our MUT's website, sesmutinternational.com, a little article on Ekadashi, just to show that this is bona fide. Like we're told that we can have buckwheat and tapioca, which are both pseudograins. So the rest of the list of pseudograins just provides some more variety. I think quinoa is something that's super helpful for us here in New Jersey. And I believe it originates from South America. But you can get red quinoa or white quinoa, and that's super nice. And it cooks pretty fast, and it fills you, and very versatile. You can use it for many different things. In the morning for a breakfast cereal, or at lunch you can substitute rice in a khichdi, or not a khichdi, but you can make it like a stir fry with quinoa and vegetables, and you can really use it in many different things. Also, like I said before, you can make it into a flour. Before you cook it, you just take the raw quinoa, you blend it, and it makes a nice flour. It's kind of a heavy flour actually, but if you mix it with something else that's lighter, like a cashew flour or something, it's real nice. So one of the recipes that we use here in New Jersey, we do this quite often actually, not only on Ekadashi, but this is an Ekadashi friendly recipe, is for these nice cookies, Madhava Prem cookies. So we have a half a cup of non-fat milk powder, a half a cup of cashew flour, 1 mashed banana, 1 whole apple skinned and shredded, and an 1/8 cup of butter. So I think a stick of butter is a half a cup. So this is 1/4 of a stick of butter. And then mix well and separate into 4 cookies on a baking pan. Bake on 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes or until golden brown. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, nice.
So I just wanted to like present this because I don't know if all the devotees know about pseudograins, but I there's not so much to actually say about it, just aside from like saying that it's there, you know, and that you can go online and you can see what other pseudograins are that, you know, maybe more like regional, you know, but it's a nice option to be aware of, I think.
It's really nice for Ekadashi. I was just curious as to whether, because I've heard different people say about quinoa to have on
Yeah.
Ekadashi, whether we are, some say we can, some say we can't. I just wondered your opinion.
I mean, I'm definitely not qualified to have an opinion about it, but I know Sripad Bhaktimadhava Puri Maharaj accepts it on Ekadasi, so that's why I prepare it. Um, so, yeah, I guess, you know, just like in the spiritual world, there are so many different relationships with Krishna, so many different ways to practice. I don't think any of the devotees are wrong whether they accept or embrace quinoa.
Yeah, it's nice. No, I'll have to try the flour. I've never tried the flour, but this looks like a really nice
It
cookie.
does come out a little dense though. Like I said, it's better to mix it with something else that's a little lighter too.
Okay. Like the cashew flour you're suggesting.
Yeah.
Nice.
They even have like green banana flour you can get. We use that sometimes too.
Nice. Any questions? Are there any other questions from anybody? Maybe you can unshare your screen, probably, and you can see.
Yeah.
So, and also I was just wondering whether you could explain a little bit about your project, the project that you're working on with Madhava Purimaras in Princeton.
I'll just share the screen one more time for that. It's very much in its infancy, but this is the information that we have on the website about it. So the concept behind it is essentially creating an institute building that has a diorama of the subjective evolution of consciousness as depicted in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. We see Srila Sridhar Maharaj, you know, bringing up that book many times throughout what we have of what he said. And in that book, Gopa Kumar starts out in Vrindavan, living in Vrindavan, but he still undergoes a subjective evolution of consciousness where he goes to many different devotees on a gradation of platforms, you know, starting in the material sphere, like Lord Brahma, and then going to Lord Shiva, going to Prahlad Maharaj, then going to the Pandavas and Uddhava, and then to back to Vrindavan, but with more of a Krishna conscious conception. And so it just shows the gradation of consciousness from material through the different levels of material consciousness into the different levels of spiritual consciousness. So we are looking to make a multimedia presentation of that in a building that has an interior like the Guggenheim Museum in New York, which is like a ramp, an ascending ramp that goes around, and then it has a skylight. So we're trying to build this, and the conception also is to depict the subjective evolution of consciousness in a way which will speak to modern conceptions of consciousness that the scientists and philosophers are working with, so we can try to engage with them and other academic people. And also, this is all largely based off of Hegel's philosophy. Srila Sridhar Maharaj also mentions Hegel many times, and that's why and how Sripad Bhaktimadhava Puri Maharaj started to study Hegel in order to help with his presentation of Krishna consciousness, and also how to better do the, the service that Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada gave to him directly, which is to preach to the scientists, to talk about the conception of Bhagavad Vedanta, the conception of Bhagavatam to the scientists using his scientific background. So when he mercifully received sannyas from Srila Sridhar Maharaj and was introduced to Hegel's philosophy through Srila Sridhar Maharaj, then it helped his service very much. And so this building is trying to put all that together. We have a quote here from Einstein. It says, "All religions, arts, and sciences are branches of the same tree. All these aspirations are directed toward ennobling man's life, lifting it from the sphere of mere physical existence and leading the individual towards freedom." So this is also something that Hegel taught, that we have a quote down here. The ideal of beauty expressed in art is the same ideal of truth expressed through philosophy and science, and love as cultivated through religion. And in the Bhagavad Vedanta philosophy, we know everything to be a part of Krishna, and the highest fulfillment of everything is using it to glorify Krishna. So these are all harmonious conceptions and can be used in this presentation, in this physical presentation, because of course this is the, going to be multimedia presentations inside a building. So then I'll just read what it says here. The structural form of the new Princeton BVI SES is inspired by the Solomon R. Guggenheim Museum in New York City. The internal ascending ramp complements the development of consciousness that will be demonstrated through our various multimedia pieces. The highest stage of consciousness will be represented by pieces at the top of the ramp, where the skylight will be shining down, accompanied by natural lighting throughout each of the 6 levels. The whole structure will stand 78 feet tall. The pieces displayed throughout the rotunda will demonstrate the subjective evolution of consciousness represented by how one identifies with their perceived reality. We will gradually trace the development of thought, starting from the misguided origin of the modern mechanistic reductionist lens of reality, and depict how consciousness and life are truly the fundamental aspects of reality. We will highlight the implications that this truth has in art, philosophy, science, and religion. In an effort to promote harmony on various levels and serve the global society at large, the Princeton BVI SES continues its mission to advocate the synthesis of science and religion and the role of consciousness in modern science. These initiatives will help modern society, with special emphasis on the academic community, to develop a holistic conception of reality inclusive of consciousness and spirit. This service project bridges Eastern and Western thought. The representation of the subjective evolution of consciousness is inspired by India's Bhagavad Vedanta philosophy, specifically as depicted in Srila Sanatana Goswami's Brihad Bhagavatamrita, and by G.W. F. Hegel's philosophy, also known as conceptual realism or absolute idealism. This is an exciting expansion and necessary service for the community that requires a devotional contribution from us all serving together. The Princeton Bhaktivedanta Institute of Spiritual Culture and Science continues to garner support from our local and global community members. We are hopeful that you may like to offer your financial support and fundraising. Our fundraising goals are detailed below. And this is a little picture of what we hope to create. Not that it will look exactly like this, but it's just something to show the idea. So like I said, this is in its infancy, but we're looking to just see who can help with this service. Also, we hope that it can be done in a way which is also pleasing to Srila Bhakti Nirmala Acharya Maharaj. But all of this is only possible, through Krishna's mercy. So we'll see what he wants. Wait and see. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share about the project and to share about the Ekadashi and Pseudograins. Panchakapa chubas chakripa sindhu bheva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Any questions now? Any questions? Dandavat, Sumudiri, Krishna, Shamila Devi.
Just finish off.
Maharaj ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Krishna Keshava Prabhu, for the talk. It was very informative. I'm sure we all learned something new about pseudograins today. Thank you.
Thank you, Krishna Nandini Devi.
What was the talk today? I missed it.
Dhanyavad,
Dhanyavad,
Maharaj.
Maharaj.
Nice to see you.
Dhanyavad Shanta Maharaj.
Dhanyavad.
Dhanyavad.
What talk you given today, Krishna Keshava Prabhu?
I talked about pseudograins and Ekadashi.
Oh, I see.
Like quinoa, we talked about quinoa when you were here before, I think,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah, so quinoa and the other pseudograins like buckwheat and how they can be used on Ekadashi and even on days that are not Ekadashi for people with diabetes or because it's better than taking grains for the blood sugar and stuff like that.
Very nice. Krishna Keshava Prabhu is very artistic, cook. When he prepares, he makes everything arranged in an artistic way, like a lotus flower sometime like, different flowers, some kind of design he makes. Very nice, artistic actually. I think Praneshwari has a question.
Yes, I would like to ask a basic question because this transmission will be available publicly. So
Yeah.
maybe someone comes in and they are not devotees. They will ask, what is this Ekadashi? What does it mean? How do you observe it? So Krishna Keshava or Maharaj, if you can talk a little bit about this, that would be helpful for those who are newcomers.
Shripad Shanta Maharaj knows much more than I do.
You explain. This is your talk. You explain it. I will add something.
Your Grace Maharaj. Yeah, so Ekadashi is a day when people who practice bhakti yoga abstain from eating grains and beans in addition to the normal dietary restrictions of no meat, fish, or eggs, no onions, garlic, mushrooms. And the reason for abstaining from beans and grains on these specific days, which come twice a month, is because the propensity for material enjoyment is increased on these days. So people who are practicing bhakti yoga, who are rejecting material enjoyment and embracing the transcendental, serving the transcendental enjoyment of the Supreme Lord, are trying to use this day to further increase their ability to not engage in material sense enjoyment. And since, like I said, specifically these days of Ekadashi are when material enjoyment is increased due to some cosmological calculation, we try to practice some slight renunciation in the diet. Maharaj, do you think that's okay?
Yeah, that's what Sridhar Maharaj told, actually. But he added something else, actually, more than, just renunciation. He told that, the propensity for enjoyment increases. It is bad for us. But in another way, Krishna's also enjoying, tendency is increasing. That is good. So we have more opportunity to serve that, desire of Krishna on the day of Ekadashi. So we try to minimize our enjoying tendency. At the same time, we engage ourselves to the maximum extent in satisfaction of Lord's, desires on the day of Ekadashi. So it is not about just fasting or renouncing thing, but it is about service to the Lord. That's why on the Ekadashi, if you see in our temples, we offer rice, dal, everything to Lord, and also to Gurudev, we offer it on the altar. So for them it is not restricted. For us as the practitioner sadhakas, it is like that is there. For Lord service, whatever is necessary. If I take full prasadam, full service, that is very nice. Srila Maharaj says, if it is necessary, full prasadam, full service is also nice. That's why Saraswati Thakur on, I think, one fasting day on Janmashtami, he told to one devotee, I think it is Hayagriva Prabhu, Madhav Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Daita Madhav Maharaj, I think he told him to take rice and go because he was going for some service. It needs some energy. Then some devotees told Saraswati Thakur that today is fasting. I know that, Saraswati told, but he is going for some service. He need some energy. So from service perspective, what is all is good that we can take some time. Some devotees maybe have health problem and certain issues like that. So it is also some relaxation is also given to different circumstances. Medicines are allowed and other things they're allowed actually. So it all depends on the service circumstances. Whatever is favorable, we do. That Ekadashi is the very nice favorable day for where we can maximum extent we can serve the desire. When somebody is like hungry, then if you give a glass of water also, that has some value. If somebody is full and you are giving so many things, laddu, jalebi, that is not so much worth valuable. It is something, appreciation is there, but it is more appreciated when it is most needed. So in that way also Ekadashi, like the separation, it is also representing very important. That's why it is Bhakti Janani. It is the mother of devotion actually. Bhakti Janani. These all festivals, they are Bhakti Janani. Jatane palana kari. Very carefully we observe. That is I think my understanding, that is not about fasting. The belly, what you can say, giving some pain to the belly is not that Ekadashi is, but the interest of Krishna we have to serve to the maximum. That's why I think devotees do the Harinam Sankirtan that day. They go out and do Harinam Sankirtan. Some they go on distributing books. They do more service on that day. The more intensely they do service.
Thank you, Mara.
Thank you. So you have also prepared something, the pseudograins, Krishna Keshava Prabhu?
No, I didn't prepare anything today, but
Okay.
I had a recipe at the end for some Madhava Prem cookies.
I see. How you prepare that?
A half a cup of non-fat milk flour powder, a half a cup of cashew flour, 1 mashed banana, 1 skinned and shredded apple, and an 1/8 cup of softened butter, and then bake 4 cookies out of that.
Joy. Sounds like, we need Ekadashi every day.
That recipe actually came from Sripad Puri Maharaj.
Oh, yes. Maharaj likes to prepare sweet.
Yeah.
He
He's
don't
really
take
good at
himself sweet, but he prepares sweet for devotees. Like Mahaprabhu. Huh? Mahaprabhu always taking the bitter, but he's giving all sweet and nice things to devotees. I was not knowing that it was 7 o'clock. You changed the time? 7:30, no? It was India time. What happened? The time has changed in London or what?
It's
Well,
2
it's 2
o'clock.
o'clock.
2 o'clock we started, Maharaj.
2 o'clock. What is the time now?
But from next month, we're changing the time to 1 p.m. London time because
Oh,
it's
1.
more suitable for most of the devotees
last time when you were holding, it was 7:30, no? The program was starting, or it's 7 o'clock India time? 2 o'clock only, always?
Yeah, always 2 o'clock, Maharaj. But I think we also had
Oh.
daylight changing time, which
Okay,
happened maybe last month.
Okay.
So,
So I thought in India time, I was thinking it's 7:30 it starts, but it seems to 7 o'clock it started. Anyway,
and then
very
from
nice.
next
I missed
month.
Rajeshwari's last, session. Very nice. She's very nice cook. Huh? She always, when we go there, she prepare so many varieties of, preparation. And Govind Maharaj liked her preparation. Rasam and so many nice things. Prepares many varieties of items from tofu. And she has, I think, also the shop for cakes, varieties of cakes she prepare.
They do have a bakery there.
Yes. How are you? Oh, there is another question coming from
Yes.
Praneshwari.
Yes, Maharaj, and this one is for you because we know you're an expert cook. So can you tell us the recipe for Ekadashi?
I am not expert cook. I just try to manage, whatever I can do. But an Ekadashi, very simple preparation. What our mat prepare is, potatoes, sabji. What you can do is just boil the potatoes. Mm. Then you can take ghee or any oil that is allowed on the day of Ekadashi. You just put some cumin seed in that. And if you like, you can add. Sometimes some devotees don't add, and I like that. You can, fry the peanuts. And then you can mix that with the, potato, that all potato you boiled, you peel the skin and, just make it, like not completely like a paste, but you mash potato kind of thing, but just little water, and mix this all, peanut powder with that you grind it, the fried peanuts, and mix that and put that in that, oil that you put the cumin seed. And you can add also some black pepper. It is good for digestion, so it comes nice actually. You can add also raw papaya in that. You can add even, choyote, what you call it, chow chow. Chow chow. You can add also chow chow in that, like that. That is comes very nice preparation. In Navadip we offer that generally, and you can prepare nice sweet item. You can grate that green papaya, not the ripened one, the green one you have to use on the Ekadashi for, the prasadam, the sabji preparation, or payasam and all those things. So you have to grate the green papaya, and then you can, in the milk, you can prepare like you prepare for rice. You can prepare it from it like a sweet preparation. Just boil it with, some jaggery or sugar, and you can add some other items, like if you like dry kishmish, kaju, all those things if you like. We don't add it. If you like, you can add it. And that also comes very nice. Also, you can prepare from sweet potato, same thing. You can grate the sweet potato, and you can prepare the sweet item from that. That also comes very nice actually. Otherwise, I prepare this tapiako sweet also from that. There are beads are available. And this time when I was in Dum Park, before coming, there was Ekadashi. Then I prepared the tapiako vada for the devotees there, the patties from tapiako. You can soak the tapiako and then mix it with, boiled potato, and then fried peanut powder, and black pepper, green chili, and ginger. Grind it ginger, and you can mix it. Then you can prepare like, patties from that. Fry it, deep fry. You can deep fry it. The oil should be hot. It comes very nice. Then with that, you can prepare peanut chutney. Peanut chutney preparation, Praneshwari? Very easy to prepare peanut chutney. Uma Didi is very good. They always take dosa idli with peanut chutney.
Tell us the recipe of peanut
You just
chutney.
fry the peanuts. Very easy. Fry the peanuts. You can put some cumin seeds, and you can grind it with some water. You grind it. You can also add, while frying, you can add ginger also in that if you like, some green chili like that, and you grind it with some water. It comes very nice chutney. Very simple. 5 minutes preparation.
The next Ekadashi is going to be a feast. It sounds like. Cookies.
But Puri Maharaj liked, I prepared some this upma from tapioca upma. He liked it. You can just, that also very easy to prepare. Tapioca, you soak it properly. You have to soak. The soaking of tapioca is a skill. Huh? You have to know how to soak it properly. If you don't, if you over soak it, then it is going to all very difficult to manage actually. So what you have to do, you have to wash the tapioca properly, with water. Then you make the water full in the pot that you're keeping the tapioca, the beads. Water should be above the tapioca. Then it should be half an hour. You should keep that, only half an hour. Then you drain the water, and then you keep it, that tapioca aside by covered. In 5 hours, 6 hours, it is properly ready. If you see it is too dry, you can just sprinkle some water, but don't put too much water there. So
Can I ask
then
a question, Maharaj? Sorry,
huh?
just to interrupt. Can I ask a question
Yes.
about the tapioca? Is that how you make the tapioca kijiri? By the same?
Oh yes, that's what I'm saying. Once you soak that properly, then you can peanut is the main ingredient in all the Ekadashi preparation. Then you have to have dry this fried peanut powder. Not prepare it like a paste. It should be like roughly grind. Then you mix that with this tapioca that you soaked, and you can also put some, like you prepare the chok, put some oil or ghee, and put the cumin seed and ginger, chili, green chili. Then the low flame, you can just mix these things. You can add some salt to that and just mix it slowly. You can mix it. If you have to cook very slow flame, if you put too much flame, then it will be all sticking to the bottom. And the peanut powder should be sufficient. The amount of thing you are taking, it should make it dry. When you mix the peanut powder, the whole mixture should come dry. Otherwise, if it is wet, then it is not properly done. The proportion is not good actually. It should come dry. So you have to accordingly.
Sorry, Maharaj, is the secret then to leave it after you've soaked it for half an hour, to leave it for 4 or 5 hours, you say?
Yes.
Dry out the tapioca.
The soaked tapioca, you want to say?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes, just the dry one, it is coming. You wash it, then you put the water in a pot and cover. The water should be more than the level of the tapioca. Okay, and sufficiently more. Okay, otherwise it soaks the water and it goes down actually. Half an hour, it should be like that. Then you drain the whole water from that, and then you cover it and keep it like 4 or 5 hours. And if you are seeing that it is very less water, it remain very hard, then you can just sprinkle some water, not put too much water. Then once it is done, then you just prepare other things that I told you. So that is the thing. Peanut powder should be sufficient. It should be dry.
Thank you, Maharaj.
You prepared, anybody prepared tapioca khichdi before?
Uma Didi has done.
Yes, Uma Didi knows because she's from South India. She knows.
We also make in South Africa.
Huh?
Khichdi, we know.
You know, yes.
Sabun,
And Muni Maharaj prepared tapioca soup for him. Very nice. It is very easy. Huh? Just put some water and then put the tapioca in and put some vegetables in. No salt, no oil. And very nice. Huh? Just boil it. We will have some problem, then they can use that also. Just boil it. And you can add black pepper, ginger, whatever paste, all those things you can add. That also comes nice. You can also steam yeah, with other vegetables, tapioca, the same thing what I told. Instead of frying it on the, just you mix those all things, the oil and everything, instead of frying, you just put it in a steamer and just steam it. You know, while making khichdi, instead of frying it in the low flame, you just put it in the steamer and just steam it. It also comes very nice. I try to do that in when I was in USA, because I have to, get it done fast. Everybody are hungry, so then I have to put it in the some pressure cooker, and there was actually a pot, so I put it in that and then steam it. It come very very fast.
For Ekadashi, sometimes Sripad Puri Maharaj also emphasizes not to spice things too much because the
Yes,
same idea of simplicity on Ekadashi.
yes, yes, yes. So that is also we have to keep in. That's why Navadip Ekadasi preparation is very simple. Just some Ekadasi, 12 o'clock up to 12 you fast. Then after the Bhoga Arati is done and Prasadam is served, and that time they just give some potato sabji. Sometimes these days they are giving chips. At that time they don't give even chips. So the
Yeah.
potato chips are being given. Uh,
Mm.
so at that time it was not given in past, but now it is changed a bit. They're giving the potato chips, and then they also sometimes give aloo bhaja, the potato fry, and then mostly the fruits are served sufficiently.
Mm.
Fruits are served, and then finally the sweet item they give.
The one time I was in Jagannath Puri, it was on Ekadashi, and they gave so much fruit, actually. It was so much. It was very nice.
Yes, yes. The fruits are very good to take before, not after the food. Before is good, and after the food, if all these things, that may create some problem. But before you take these other things, you should take the fruits. It is nice for the stomach. How are you, Krishna Kinkar Prabhu? Krishna Nandani Didi, you are okay? Both of you are okay?
Your
Okay,
Grace, we are
Maharaj.
all well, Maharaj. Can't complain. Nice to see you.
How is South
You didn't.
Africa situation? Everything is fine?
Not too good. They stopped that Johnson and Johnson vaccine now because there's been some major side effects. I'm sure you heard of that.
What side effects they faced?
Apparently, there's some blood clotting.
Oh
Those
my
that have
God.
taken the vaccine, yeah, there's been some blood clotting in some of the
Very
patients that are
dangerous, huh?
very dangerous. So they put an immediate stop to it. This was a few days ago. We heard on the news. And
It may
yeah,
lead to
what to
brain
do?
stroke.
Yeah, never heard
Sometimes
of any.
people have this problem, piles, you know,
Mm,
they have this problem. Then they take this allopathy medicine. Then, the blood, actually what they do, this allopathy, they give the medicine for blood clotting, that so that the blood bleeding stops. But that blood clotting can happen any place, actually. Mm. So the brain has very thin, the vessels are moving, so the blood may clot there, and there's some problem. I had this problem, when I was doing my PhD. Then I have taken the medicine, this homeopathy. Then actually at that time I was supposed to take initiation from Srila Bhakti Damodar Maharaj. So then I told him this problem I had. So I'm taking this homeopathy. Yesterday I visited. Just that problem started at that time. Then immediately he told, you stop that. He told me, you stop that. And he told, you take the Ayurvedic medicine. He told me. But he not told me which medicine I should take. So then I told, what Ayurvedic medicine I will take? I don't know. Then I was just waiting, because he not told me what medicine to take. After a few days, he told, did you take the Ayurvedic medicine? He told me, no, I had not taken. I don't know which medicine to take. I told him like that. Then he said, go and go to the shop and you will get it. He told me. Then I went to the shop and then I asked, I have this problem. Then you have any medicine? Then he given some, this Abhyaristo and some medicines. Then I brought with that medicines to his place and told, you got the medicine? Yes. Which medicine? And I saw, oh, this is a medicine. This is very good medicine. He told me that. That Avyaristo was very nice, and that problem solved completely. After taking that medicine, it's all very nice medicine, this Avyaristo, very nice medicine. So this all these problems, this allopathy, they don't think about the side effects so much. So much side effects may be there. They may give that vaccine. That's why I'm also afraid to approach this vaccine in India. People are telling now the strain is changing. We don't know how this vaccine will behave with that new strain. What people problems they're facing today. Madan Mohan Prabhu was saying me his mother got infected with corona. Madan Mohan Prabhu from Malaysia is now in India, in Lucknow, and that is the hotspot for corona in Lucknow. So his mother also got infected, but she is not getting any flu or other symptoms, but it is the weakness. Corona can lead to some weakness, and some other new problems are coming. It may attack some problems with the brain and stomach and other problems. We don't know what is going on with this corona. The symptoms are all changing, completely changed. And it is not detected by the test. So RT-PCR test, I don't know what test you do there for corona. We call it here RT-PCR test they do, and it is not detecting. The new strain is not detected, so they have to change the test, I think. So what is the next? Some kirtan you are all doing or what? Okay.
Waiting for you, Maharaj, to do
Krishna
kirtan.
Keshava Prabhu can do some kirtan, would be nice.
Uma Didi actually does kirtan every Saturday, so sweetly.
Yes. Yasomati Nandana.
No, Hariyaraya and Ma. Yeah, very sweet.
Mm-hmm. She does Yasomati Nandana every Saturday in Puri Maharaj's program. She does.
I don't care.
What is this?
Yeah,
What is the sound? Oh, it's coming from Samila. Samila, some
Maybe
sound is
there's
coming.
outside.
where are you?
Okay, I can see it. Can I start with it?
Can I share the song on the screen?
Hariharaya Namah Krishna Jadavaya Namaha.
Hariharaya
Raya
Namah
Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Madhavaya Madhavaya Kesavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Kesavaya
Namaha.
Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudana.
Gopal Govinda Ram Madhusudana.
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohana.
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohana.
Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra.
Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra.
Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda.
Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur
Jaya Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunatha.
Jaya Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunatha.
Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunatha.
Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta
Raghunatha.
Jai Gosani Kari Charana Vandana.
Ye Chai
Jai
Gosai Kori
Charana
Charana
Vandana.
Vignanasa Vishta Purana.
Jaha Hoite Vignana
Sabhista Purana.
Echani Karmuita Radasa.
Ye Chai Gosai Charmita
Rasa.
Sabara Padare Nora Panchagrasa.
Tasavar Padare Nor Panchagrasa.
Panchagrasa.
तादेर चरण सेवी भक्त सन्निवास
तादेर चरण सेवी
चरण
भक्त
सेवी भक्त
निवास
सन्निवास
जन्मे मोर अभिलाष
जनमे जनमे मोरे
जनमे मोरे
अभिलाष
अभिलाष
इच्छाय गोसानी जबे रज कैलेवास
ए जय गोसाई जबे ब्रज
जबे ब्रज
कैलावास
कैलास
राधा कृष्ण नित्य लीला करिला प्रकाश
राधा
हरे
कृष्ण
कृष्ण
नित्य लीला
नित्य लीला
करिला
करिला
प्रकाश
प्रकाश
आनंद बोले हरि भज वृंदावन
आनंदे बोलो हरि भज
भज
वृंदावन
वृंदावन
श्री गुरु वैष्णव पारे मजई अमाना
श्री गुरु वैष्णव पदे
वैष्णव
मजई
पादे मजी
अमान
अमान
श्री गुरु वैष्णव पाद पद्म करिहासा
श्री गुरु वैष्णव पाद पद्म करिहास
राम संकीर्तन कहे नरोत्तम दासा
नाम
नाम
संकीर्तन कहे
संकीर्तन कहे
नरोत्तम दास
नरोत्तम दास
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा
हरे
कृष्णा
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 हरे
कृष्णा
हरे
हरे हरे
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम
हरे
राम
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 राम राम
हरे
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 राम राघव राम राघव राम राघव रक्षमा
राम
राम
राघव
राघव
राम
राम
राघव
राघव
राम
राम
राघव
राघव
रक्षाम
रक्षाम
कृष्ण केशव कृष्ण केशव कृष्ण केशव पाहि
कृष्ण
कृष्ण
केशव
केशव
कृष्ण
कृष्ण
केशव
केशव
कृष्ण
कृष्ण
केशव
केशव
पाहि
पाहि
माम्
माम्
राम राघव राम राघव राम राघव रक्षमा
राम
राम
राघव
राघव
राम
राम
राघव
राघव
राम
राम
राघव
राघव
रक्ष माम्
रक्षाम
कृष्ण केशव कृष्ण केशव कृष्ण केशव पाहि
कृष्ण
कृष्ण
केशव
केशव
कृष्ण
कृष्ण
केशव
केशव
कृष्ण
कृष्ण
केशव
केशव
पाहि
पाहि
माम्
माम्
कृष्ण 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 हरे
कृष्ण
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 हरे
हरे
राम 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 हे
राम
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 हरे
हे
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे
हरे
Hare
कृष्णा
Krishna,
हरे
Hare
कृष्णा
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्ण
Krishna,
हरे
Hare
हरे
Hare.
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे
Hare
राम
Rama,
हरे
Hare
राम
Rama,
राम
Rama
राम
Rama,
हरे
Hare
हरे
Hare.
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
गोविंद जय
Jaya
जय
Jaya
गोपाल
Gopala
जय
Jaya
जय
Jaya
रमण हरि
Gopala Hari
गोविंद
Govinda
जय
Jaya
जय
Jaya.
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
गोविंद जय जय
Jaya Jaya
गोपाल जय
Jaya
जय
Jaya Radha
रमण हरि
Ramana Hari
गोविंद
Govinda
जय
Jaya
जय
Jaya.
निताय गौरंग निताय गौरंग जय निताय गौरंग
निताय
Nitai
गौरांग
Gauranga,
निताय
Nitai
गौरांग
Gauranga,
निताय
Nitai
गौरांग जय
Gauranga,
निताय गौरांग
Gauranga.
गौरा 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 हे
गौरा
Gaura, Gaura,
गौरा
Gaura, Gaura,
गौरा
Gaura,
गौरा
Gaura,
हरि
Gaura, Hare.
जय सचिनंदन जय सचिनंदन गौर हरि
जय
Jai
सच्चिनंदन
Sachinandana,
जय
Jai Sachinandana,
जय
Jai
सच्चिनंदन
Sachinandana,
गौर
Jai
हरि
Gaura Hari.
कलियुग पावन गौर हरि पतित पावन गौर हरि
कलिजुग पावन गौर हरि पतित पावन गौर हरि
कलियुग पावन गौर हरि पतित पावन गौर हरि
कलिजुग पावन गौर हरि पतित पावन गौर हरि
गौरा 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 गौर हरि
गौर गौर हरि
जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा
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 गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल
निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर
निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल
निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
गौरचंद्र हरि बोल
हरि बोल
Maharaj, please, Sidhu ki jai.
You give Krishna Keshava Prabhu.
जय श्री परिकर श्री गुरु गौरांग गंधर्व गोविंद सुंदर जी की जय। श्री श्री गुरु गौर नित्यानंद जी की जय। ओम विष्णु जगत गुरु श्री शिल भक्ति निर्मलाचार्य गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। विष्णु जगत गुरु श्री शिल भक्ति सुंदर गोविंद देव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। विष्णु जगत गुरु शिल भक्ति रखक खिदार देव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। ओम शिवाय भगवान श्री शिल भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर महाराज पापा की जय। हाँ भगवान श्री गौर किशोर बाबूजी महाराज की जय। श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्त ठाकुर की जय। वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री शिल जगन्नाथ दास बाबूजी महाराज की जय। श्री रूप अनुग गुरु वर्ग की जय। संत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। जय शाह प्रसाद श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। जय शाह प्रसाद श्रीमन महाप्रभु की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोप श्याम कुंड राधु कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय। बुद्ध भक्ति विघ्न श्री नृसिंहदेव की जय। श्री भक्त प्रभार प्रहलाद की जय। श्री गंगा जमुना माई की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी वृंद देवी श्री तुलसी महारानी की जय। श्रीमद भागवतम चैतन्य चरितमृत की जय। अकरमत राजा श्री चैतन्य मत की जय। श्री चैतन्य सरस्वत मत की जय। जय श्री मायपुर नवदी धाम की जय। श्री वृंदावन पुरुषोत्तम धाम की जय। जगन्नाथ क्षेत्र की जय। गर्भवत चक्र धाम की जय। श्री बमुपर श्री हपन्य धाम की जय। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। समवेत विष्णु मंडल की जय। जय श्री भक्ति निष्काम शांत महाराज की जय। All the assembled devotees की जय। All the worldwide devotees की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि
हरि बोल। धन्यवाद to everybody. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. धन्यवाद।
Thank you to everyone for attending today. Next week, we won't be having a cooking class session because it's Srila Gurudev's disappearance day. So most of the devotees will be observing. And so we will follow in May, first week in May.
Thank you, Devi Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dhanyavad.
Thank you, everyone.
Dhanyavad. Dhanyavad. Hare Krishna.
Everyone.